given a sequence also. A sequence also, that we have to mix the things in a particular sequence. All of us we know. So there must be a reason, there must be a logic why the sequence.
To prepare a homogeneous mixture.
Not only this. Homogeneous mixture is a good reason, but not only this. So let us talk the things one by one. I ask the question, why kalk? Right? So an answer came, but the appropriate answer is, if you will, sorry, say it again.
Density to achieve the proper density or ghanata, so that it can be retained.
The ghanata, it would have been possible by adding little bit of the pitchil dravya. Pitchavasti is there, mocharas is there, so many bilv is there. The purpose of kalk is only one. That is why it is not boiled. Volatiles. Volatiles. Anybody heard about a Puto Yavani kalk?
Yes, sir.
Standard kalk. It is a standard kalk.
Mentioned in Ashtamrita.
Sorry?
Ashtamrita. Mentioned in Ashtamrita.
Mentioned in Ashtamrita. Because many places. Because in Charak Samhita, in Ashtang, when Niru is mentioned, for every Niru kalk is not mentioned. Right or wrong? So it is understood that when there is no kalk is mentioned, we have used Puto Yavani kalk. So if you will thoroughly look into the ingredients of Puto Yavani kalk, every ingredient is laboratory principles. If we boil or heat, they will be evaporated. Right? So this means to say absorption, not only water substance. You are right. All three of you are right. But you have to make a mix. So, kalk is there for volatiles. That is why the text is not boiling, Charya is not boiling it. Clear? So, absorption is there, and now when mouth is there, stomach is there, which is a right way to consume the things, then why the wrong way? Question is that all the allopathic medicines we are taking orally, most of times, 99%. Except into the condition we are in allopathic medicine, we are giving paranal route only if we want to have a local effect. For example, in ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, steroid edema will be given. Right or wrong? And for evacuation of bowel, suppose it is given, so but enema. So in modern medicine, in allopathy, the objective of enema are only two. Right? Evacuation of bowels, and locally, if you want to have a local effect of some medicine on the mucosa. So modern medicine is saying from the large intestine nothing is absorbed. Right? So it is proved wrong with their own concept because they are giving steroid drip. And it is very effective in IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, in Crohn's disease, in ulcerative colitis. So, and it works very well. So this means to say steroids are getting absorbed. Steroids are getting absorbed. So absorption is there. Not only of water, of volatiles. And all the active principles of the quat. All the active principles of quat. Right? So this is it. So this is one mode of action, that is absorption. So why this absorption is different than that of the absorption from oral route? Have you ever thought why the absorption, it should be different? The end product of active principle of any medicine, if you take through oral route, is altogether different if we give it with anal route, because anal route bypass all the enzymes and acid. Sorry?
First pass metabolism.
Sorry, first
Pass metabolism.
systemic absorption. The answer is fast absorption, systemic absorption. So it is like immediately going into the bloodstream. Like we put the medicine sublingually. This is one mode of action. Right? Clear? So now I have to give you answer. Why? Sneh is there. Why? Sneh is there in the. Sneh is standard in all the Nirubasti. Agree? Can we imagine a Nirubasti without Sneh? No. Text is saying that it comes too much Rukshita. Right? Text is saying if we give too much Niru without Anvasan, it is contraindicated. Right? The reason of putting Sneh is giving a protection to the mucosa. Because stomach is having mucin. Stomach is having mucin. And large intestine of mucosa of large intestine is not having mucin. It is not having any protective arrangement. Okay? So, that is why in the conception, in the conceiving, in the design of Nirubasti, Sneh is there. So that Madanfal can be so much irritant, or all the herbs or certain herbs. You know, there are only 2-3 herbs which are not used in the Nirubasti. Who will tell me which are 2-3 herbs? Balatak is not recommended to be used into the Nirubasti because it can cause huge irritation. Right? So, apart from Balatak or one or more herbs, whatsoever you can eat from mouth, almost every herb you can use with Nirubasti. There is no contraindication. Clear? But to protect the irritant effect, to protect the damage to the mucosa of large intestine, Acharya in the design added Sneh. So now the significance of Sneh is clear. Kalk is clear. Why honey? Sorry?
Yoga-Vahi.
Yoga-Vahi property. Okay.
For emulsification of the fats and the water. Honey is the medium.
बंद कर. You tell me more properties of honey. Why and when? For what reason honey is applied locally? Antiseptic.
Wound healing.
Wound healing. Wound healing. You know, in ancient era, the dressing of honey was done for promoting the healing. You know this?
Today also, after Ayurvedic made all these things, we have to use
Honey. To promote the healing. So now what you have said? No, your name is Pushkar. Dr. Pushkar told that Nirupasti is causing irritation. Nirupasti is causing irritation. He was right. So the amount of irritation, the level of irritation which is caused if you keep on giving Niru every day, what will happen? I will tell you what will happen. If you will keep on giving Niru every day, you know what will happen? One day, on the first day, there will be inflammation of the mucous membrane. Right? And second day, there will be, with a more gradual Niru, there will be ulceration. And if you keep on giving the Niru, there can be perforation. Right? So, to protect all these things, in a mechanism of Niruvasti, in a setting of Niruvasti, in a formulation of Niruvasti, we need a healing agent, which is called local healing. So, that is the role of Madhu. Agree, everybody? Salt, Senda. Why? Sorry? Hygroscopic. To promote the osmosis. To promote the osmosis for the better absorption of the active principles of the herbs in Niruvasti and Kalk. Clear? So this is it. So now, putting everything together, I am going to tell you. First, the question is still not answered. Question is, why large intestine is site of what? Why? Sorry? Okay. Why skin is the site of what? You tell me. We do abhyanga. Abhyanga we do. Abhyanga is also vata pacified. Agree? So what is happening with the abhyanga? In Pakshagat, abhyanga is done, Swedan is done, and Vasti is given. So abhyanga is relaxing. Agree? So what does it mean? When we are doing massage, any type of massage, with oil or without oil, so what is happening? Relaxation in the brain, in the mind. Brain is relaxed. So what does it mean? That with the stimulus of the nerve endings on the skin, stimulus generated on the nerve endings on the skin is creating a type of chain reaction into the brain which is giving relaxation. Understand? Clear? Because it is in abundance. We are doing massage on one limb or two limbs or other. So we are relaxed. So because nerve endings are there in the skin. So those nerve endings are giving the reaction, the chain reaction. They are generating a chain reaction of relaxation which is giving the signals into the brain and we feel relaxed. And this is vata pacifying. This is it. Vata pacifying. Now coming to the large intestine. The nerve endings of the skin are in abundance. The maximum nerve endings they are having on the skin. Pluck and breathe. Right? The maximum nerve endings, you agree? Because skin is the largest surface area of the body. But these nerve endings are deeply rooted. They are not superficial. They are very much protected. Right? But in the large intestine, nerve endings are very superficial. There is no thick covering, just mucosa, and just below, beneath the mucosa, we easily find nerve endings. And large intestine is also a large surface area. Large intestine is also a, after skin, it is a large surface area. So, on the skin, whatsoever sensation we are feeling, that is voluntary. You feel it. In large intestine, whatsoever stimulus is generated, that is involuntary. You don't feel any relaxation like you feel on the skin. Do you? But it does not mean nothing is happening there. You eat the food and you eat the food and next day tomorrow you will pass the stools. If you won't eat the food, you won't pass the stool. Right or not? On a fasting day. So, after eating below this, every process still passing the stool is involuntary. Peristaltic movements are there, so many actions are there, involuntary. You don't know what is happening inside. So, the same way, the vasti is stimulating the nerve endings into the large intestine, into the second largest surface area where nerve endings are just lying just below the mucosa. Understand? So you can imagine the amount of stimulus generated in the brain, which is having a regenerative effect of vasti. Getting it? Clear or not clear? Interesting or boring? What is interesting? That why now it is clear why large intestine of site of what? Because maximum nerve endings. And those nerve endings and the skin, they are deeper rooted, and in the large intestine they are so very much comparatively superficial. And we can easily approach to nerve endings. We can stimulate that. We can create a chain reaction by stimulating those nerve endings. So you were telling this. Who was telling this? You were. You were telling absorption. Right? So you were telling irritation. So I mixed all three. We have mixed So with the woman what we are doing, with the Virachal what we are doing, with the Vasti what we are doing. I am going to coin a new term. Woman and Virachal is basically a controlled shock treatment. It is a controlled shock we are giving to the jolt, we are giving to the immune system. First we are with the Snehan Abhyantara we are getting environment. And Virachal is like it. The woman is Virachal, is on the day of woman and Virachal, we are like shocking to the body. Understand? And with the Niru also, we are creating irritation into the mucosa of large intestine. So that irritation is also creating the stimulus. But you know, what is the most important thing? To do everything in a balance. We cannot cause so much of the irritation that it can lead to ulceration or wounds. So that is why every Niru is need to be alternated with Anuvasam. That is why every Niru is always to be alternated with but for Anuvasam this is not a rule. For Matra Vasti, you can keep on giving Matra Vasti. I had keep on giving Matra Vasti for more than 6 months with closed eyes. But for Niru, every Niru is to be alternated with the Anuvasam because the amount of damage which we had done with the Niru Vasti to the mucosa, the amount of irritation which we have caused to the mucosa with the Niru Vasti has to be soothed down, has to be cured, has to be healed with the Anuvasam on next day. Clear? So this is the mode of action of it. So two things are clear now. Which are two things clear? Easy students? First is why large intestine is site of bath. Clear or not clear? Huh? And second is mode of action. So Vasti is having three-pronged effect. Vasti is having a three-pronged effect. First is absorption. Absorption is faster than the GIT. Let me make it more clear. Any active principle of any herb or any medicine, when we are giving it orally, the end product is not like the same active principle, that active principle, because it undergoes for the acid, enzyme, and the bile and so many other substances, right? But when we are giving it to the large intestine from the anal root, the absorption of active principle is as such. It is like giving an intravenous injection. You are getting? So absorption. First, second is stimulation of nerve ending, and third is controlled irritation of the mucosa, which in turn is irritating the nerve ending. Stimulating the nerve ending. Not irritating, but stimulating the nerve ending. So there is a slight difference between irritating and stimulating, but very slight difference. Clear? So this is how the Vasti is having, with a joke. This is a real life joke story, because I know we have been in this room since morning. It becomes boring after a couple of hours, and after lunch it is especially slow because whatsoever we eat, we never eat whatsoever we eat, it is having a side effect. And side effect of food is drowsiness. We don't eat food for drowsiness, for slowing down, but it is a side effect because brain becomes busy in digestion. Clear? So that is why I want to tell you a story, a real life story. I was doing MD. I just entered into the MD in Udaipur, Government Ayurvedic College, and it was Kachikitsa because Panchkarma was not a separate branch there. And I was determined that I will do a topic with Panchkarma, and I wanted to take Vasti, and I took Vasti. My topic was role of Panchkarma-2 in ulcerative colitis. And it is very effective, I will tell you. That is not another story. But one of my senior, 1 year senior guy, he was from MP, I couldn't name him. And he was also into Panchkarma, and he also wanted to do a topic with Panchkarma. But he wanted to do an easy way. Something very easy. But some people they say, okay, we have to do MD, but easily. Nothing, no hassles. Some easy topic, and we get the degree and we go out. So his co-guide was also very easy going. Right? And so when you go for MD, there are two problems, especially in Panchkarma. One, you have to pick a disease, and second, you have to pick a procedure. Right? So you have to pick a disease and you have to pick a procedure, and then you have to connect it. So he was interested in Unmad. He was interested in Unmad. And he was interested into Amalpit. He was interested into Amalpit. And he said, for Amalpit, the procedure of choice is Vaman or Viracham. Agree? So he wanted to take some Vasti procedure in Amalpit. And he gone to his co-guide. I said, I want some Vasti formulation for Amalpit. So his teacher was here, I told he was easy going and a little bit dumb. He said, Vasti never reaches up to stomach or duodenum. How it will cure Amalpit? Is it right or wrong?
Yes.
Vasti never reaches the stomach or duodenum. How it will cure Amalpit? So he came to me, like he was the teacher is very intelligent. If it doesn't reach to this thing, stomach or duodenum, how it can affect? So I asked a question on question. I said, Vasti is indicated in Unmad also. Do you think it reaches up to here? The question is, Vasti is indicated into Unmad also, which is here, brain disease. So, do you think Vasti can reach up to brain? So, this is an interesting question, interesting answer. So, Vasti, the therapeutic effect of Vasti is not depending upon up to which organ it reaches. Akshaghat is here only, the damage is here in the nervous area of the brain. So, Vasti never reaches to the brain. So, this is why I am telling you mode of action, to understand the mode of action of the Vasti. So, if it is said it is Ardha Chikitsa, it is Purna Chikitsa, it is very true. So, I mean to say it is having systemic effect, it is having effect into the brain with the nerve endings, and it is having a, which third effect I told you? Controlled shock by causing irritation to the mucosa and nerve ending under the mucosa. So this is it, how the Vasti is acting. I think this should be sufficient for today. And I am pretty sure that you need a break now. Tea break, and then sir from Dr. Ved Pathak from Jaipur is still not going to spare you for another lecture maybe. Thank you. Achha, many of you want to go to Amritsar? Sorry? Amritsar you want to go?
Yes, sir.
How many of you want to go to Amritsar? 1, 2, 3, 4. You also? Yes. You have not been to Amritsar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 people want to go to. Dr. Prakash, what is his name? Prasad. he's already today, he delivers lectures tomorrow, and he is into Mr. today. He called me from Golden Temple. I told him that if there comes any problem, he will let me know. He called me from the Golden Temple. He said, huge crowd.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
मैं संडे गया था, घुस नहीं पाया.
घुस नहीं पाए, वापिस आ गए. So my advice is, in this high time of COVID, alright, another thing I can tell you, if you want to go to Golden Temple, you go to midnight. Because Golden Temple is open 24 hours. But there again comes the problem, because in 6 days, if you travel in the midnight, next day again you will be sleeping in the class. For sure. So, I am not discouraging you to go to Amritsar. What I can do for you easily, not a problem. I can organize a trip of yours to Golden Temple after the last day. Saturday or Sunday? Saturday, yes. Saturday evening you can start. Right? And then on last day you can go to, maybe up to late night you can travel. And in the night also there is, I am not sure in the nights also it is less rushy. 24 hours it can be rush over there. You got my point? So 2 reasons, because of too much rush and COVID. And COVID is getting very much prevalent here in 300 cases yesterday in Jalandhar itself. So my advice is take due precaution, care, and I don't want you to go back with COVID. Right? So little bit postpone it. If we will get it, maybe some more time, we have to skip a session, afternoon session, 2 lectures at least, which I don't advise. To skip 2 lessons in the afternoon just to go to Golden Temple. But on Sunday also I can organize it for you.
Sunday there is too much crowd.
Sunday there is too much crowd.
Actually, I went there on Sunday.
तुम नहीं जा सकेंगे.
4:30 घंटा खड़े होके आ गए.
4:30 घंटा. So we should learn from it. This is true, and I'm not sure if Mr. Prasad could enter to the Golden Temple today. He was, tomorrow we will ask him.
I think Saturday night is
The best option.
best option.
So this is a happy solution. I think everybody agrees to the same. Right or wrong? Sorry? You already booked on Saturday. Sorry, say it again.
वापसी की टिकट बुक करवाया.
Return journey. So फिर difficult. Yeah. Agree. No.
जी सर.
Comment ये फटाफट.
Sir, after certificate and
Momento.
momento.
आइए सर